Welcome to another episode of Tapped In with Tony. Tonight's guest is another Northeast Ohio content creator and founder of the Wayne County Sports High School page on Instagram, Ben Nichols. Ben, thank you for joining me.
It's great to be here, Tony. Really excited for this.
Yeah, man, you guys have really put in the work. You've been taking pictures for Murray State, a lot of high school sports in Wayne County. You've put in the work, man, and it shows.
Yeah, I've been putting in the work for it's been about 2-3 years now, about so we've been putting in the work really well. And it's starting to grow pretty good right now. So
Awesome, man. That's really great to hear. Where are you from initially, and how did you get started?
okay, so I'm from Wayne County. I'm from Northeast Ohio. I went to Northwestern High School. And it all started because I was sitting in my basement one day, and I'm thinking, I was thinking, I seen this girl, and she was really good looking. She's really good looking, and she played basketball. And I thought, man, I wonder if I start like a sports page, maybe I can get her number or something. And that never happened, but I got stuck with this page, and now it's pretty awesome. So.
That's really cool. And you started off in Northwestern, and then you expanded it to a lot of the other area schools.
Yeah, so I started out. I didn't really think anything of it at first. Like, it didn't have too many followers at first. It had a couple, and I started right before the whole football season started. So like, people were like, okay, maybe this is another page. Like, that he's just gonna. There's another person that's gonna like not go through with it. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, okay, this guy's like posting stuff. He's like kind of on top of it. So at first, it wasn't nothing too crazy at first. So.
Hey, wow. Because I take it people have started pages in the past and
Yeah.
hadn't really gotten much of a following, but you stayed the course, and then it just more followers. And I bet that's got to be really big, especially for area like Wayne and Ashland County. Got a lot of it's like right outside of Cleveland, but I
Yeah.
bet you got a lot of kids, and you've got community support for all the sports, not just football.
Well, so the funny story is, I started a page a long time ago. It was called Small Town Sports, and it was this little dinky page I started in middle school, and that was what the page was. And then I turned it into like my Finsta account where I post whatever I want to post on. So then I destroyed the whole account, rebranded it, came up with this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make this page, and then that's just how it got. And then it started to grow and grow and grow, and it's growing like crazy right now. So.
What would you say so far is the biggest game that you've covered as part of being part of the Wayne County sports page? Because I know you guys were definitely looking to start something as far as basketball goes. I remember you were talking about having an ESPN like booth for the county game of the week.
Yeah, so with that whole idea, I couldn't start it this year because like I didn't get to come home that much. And it was one of those things that I really want to do in the future. That I'm working on. We got the whole stage and stuff built in my garage. Right? Like, it's already all built. Everything. You just gotta use it sometime. And it's just like, there's a lot of crazy ideas. Like, I'm really against like the whole industry, quote unquote. I can't stand like those big media companies that like that. I can't stand those. I love these like little small media like Next Gen Sports. There's tons of creators that I can name off that I watch. Like, I watch what's this kid's name? Chris the Creator. I think you had him on there. I watch his stuff. His stuff's pretty cool. So it's just a lot of people I meet, and like those little pages and stuff are that's real sports media, not somebody who just goes out, takes some pictures, writes up an article, and throws it in the newspaper. That's not. I hate the industry. I really do. I'm really big anti all that. So.
Gotcha. And you're more of like the video and the you're more like the video and just like more getting to know the community.
Yeah. So I love the story pictures videos tell. Like there's so much more to that than just writing a big old column saying, oh, this person did this. Like, show some pictures. Show that's what the kids want to see. They don't want to see like the little name. Oh, so and so carried the ball for a yard. Oh, wow, you got your name in the paper. Cool, congrats. But there's pictures. Oh, wow, this is a big section. Whoa, I'm in the paper. That's cool. or they can share it on their Instagram story, and then it blows up. They're like, "Oh wow, this is so cool! So many people see this!" Like, and that's just that's what I like. I just feel like newspapers nowadays, they're just not like they're not what they used to be. So that's just me though.
Things definitely have changed as far as someone who actually, started off doing just simply just the article. Like I still do articles, but I like to add that
Yeah,
video. I
yeah,
like to add those highlights and add a few pictures because
exactly,
people
exactly.
will see that because they'll see that highlight and it's there forever. That it's just I figured this out and when I was at covering stuff for TV too. I got a camcorder in 2018, got to take video, and then a few years later, jumping on board with Keon Sports and doing
Yeah,
that, taking video. It's honestly really fun, especially when you see, hey, this guy had this, he had a huge game, and here's
exactly.
this run on video, and you got the post game interview too. You get to
I
see
love that. I
see
love
the
that.
reaction.
Love it. It's awesome. These kids and Northeast Ohio, they deserve so much. They deserve it. I think Northeast Ohio basketball. I think Ohio basketball in general is some of the best basketball in the nation. Like I've seen so many basketball games. One Northeast Ohio game that I will always remember, always will remember, was back in was 2017 or 2018. It was Shaker Heights versus Garfield Heights. Alonzo Gaffney, Michi Johnson, Alex Heath, all them were playing. Chris Gus, Dale Bonner, I think. That was the best. That's probably the best high school basketball game I've ever seen in my life. Me and my buddies drove up there. My grandpa took us up there. We're all some young kids, and we all drove up there, and it was awesome. From where we're from, it's not like that, but like it was awesome. That's probably the best high school basketball game I've ever watched in my life.
I unfortunately didn't get a chance to.
Oh,
That's probably one of the
oh.
biggest like games that I've missed ever since I like became like a sports reporter. I like didn't really start getting into the content creation part until 2021. But if I had to go back in time, that would be one of those games because I've seen highlights from
That was
multiple sites. Like and even rapper turned rocker Machine Gun Kelly was there
yeah.
in attendance.
Well, I was there. I didn't go the first time with Machine Gun Kelly because they played at Garfield the first time. The second time they played at Solon. They played at Solon, and that was the district championship. Man, all them Shaker people were raising the roof all the time. Chris Gus comes up, throws down two monster dunks, and Alex Heath hits a half court shot. It was insane. Like it was crazy. Like
Northeast Ohio basketball, I believe I agree with you 100%. You've
the
got
best
some
in the nation.
really talented ballers, and also football. Obviously, is one of the. I'd say it's just like behind Texas when it comes to the passion and dedication that
I
fan
think
bases have. For
exactly. If you were to pick like the three football, I think it definitely goes obviously Texas, but behind all them, it's Ohio, Florida, and California. There's no doubt about it. Like we're up there somewhere. I think we're up there for pretty much every single sport. Like Ohio is very slept on, very slept on. So
I would have to agree, especially with baseball, especially because I know with spring it's not very easy when it's snowing and it's
exactly.
windy. And I've covered the first two games I've covered this year. One was in Columbus or in Akron. One was in the Columbus area. It was wind gusts of like 40 some miles per hour. But it's like once the weather gets warm and you've got like more games being had, like Ohio baseball, I believe is definitely slept on in this area.
Oh, it is. Softball's awesome too. Softball's insane in the state. That's amazing. It's awesome.
What would you say? What was the first basketball game and the first football game that you've covered being part of the Wayne County Sports? How was that experience?
Well, the first football game I covered, I remember 100% exactly. So it was a Leary Catholic. They came and played at Orville. Orville had this kid named Markwell Parks. He is hands down the best football. In my opinion, he's the best football player to ever play in Northeast Ohio. He holds every record possible. He's the goat. It was cold. It was like, man, it was 45 degrees. Orville won. Then the next week they played Marion Pleasant down at Mansfield Senior. It was so cold. It was like 20 degrees, and oh my god, it was terrible. And then the next week they played Oak Harbor up at man, it's up on the lake. I forget what it's called.
Sandusky?
I don't remember. Shoot. I don't remember, but it was snowing and raining, and it was just so cold. Like those like the first 3 games I really ever covered. Basketball, I don't remember that one honestly. I've covered so many basketball games. Like,
Wow. You definitely made the rounds because like especially like when we're out here as creators, we're covering games. We cover like some like 30, 40 some games a year. It
exactly.
doesn't even feel like it. One moment it's December and we're covering showcases. Next thing it's March and the regional championships are in town. It's like season goes by quick.
It goes by quick. I have a book. I have every single game I've ever been to. I wrote it down ever since the start of day one. Like,
Wow.
I have every game I've been to ever.
Wow. That's really awesome.
I tried to write it super small, and then I tried to write it small so I could fit on all the pages, but it's like 4 pages. I think my count right now, the last 3 years, I think it's 343.
Wow. You're putting the work in, man.
So
you are definitely putting that work in.
Ever since so I came back. I kind of I joined the Army in 2021. I was taken away for a really long time, really long time. And then September last year, I really make my official return back to doing what I do. And since then, man, God, I probably traveled. I couldn't tell you how many miles. I was just in Georgia the other day, and I'm going to Colorado this weekend. I'm going to Kentucky next weekend, and it's insane.
Yeah, and I understand you've been doing a lot you've taken a lot of photos in the college ranks. How did you get connections to do those gigs?
All right, so that's like the funniest story too. I never had a camera. I never had a camera ever, and there's this kid that I went to school with. I didn't go to school with him, but he was in my grade. He went to Wayndale. His name's Cole Sarver Media. He shoots for like Lutheran East. I'm pretty sure he does all their stuff. He was taking these videos. They were really good. I'm like, man, I want to do that. I'm like, so one time I came back home last November. I came home. I told my grandma, I said, hey, I want to buy a camera. She's like, oh, well, you better pay for it with your own money. So walking around one day in a pawn shop, and I seen a camera for $100. Thought it was the greatest thing in the world. I thought it was amazing. And it turns out that camera was it was 15 years old. It had over I think 295,000 pictures taken on it. So it was really worn down. It was really, and I didn't know that because me, I seen a camera. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. I thought that was so cool. And I was so happy just to have that camera. But now I have this thing, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's the greatest thing I've ever spent money on. So, but so after that, my first ever game I did a video. I know the coach of Hoban, Coach Burns, and they kind of hooked me up. I went to the Akron Hoban versus St. V game at the University of Akron. I took a video there. Then the next night I went down to Marion, and I took a video at the West Holmes game. After that, I said, I'm not doing this video stuff anymore. I hated it. I didn't want to do it anymore. I hated it. So I texted my person back at Murray State. I said, hey, can I come to a basketball game sometimes? Like, yeah, you can come to a basketball game. We don't care. So I took my first pictures, and I just man, these pictures look so great. They look, they're so terrible, but they were so great at the time. And I just started showing up, started playing with things, I started to go to as many things as I could, girls and boys stuff. I started to go to as many things so I could get the settings down. I tried to try new things all the time. By the end of the season, I had a new camera. Lens was good. I had somewhat an idea what I wanted to do, and the pictures they eventually showed. So that's basically how I got the whole start with that.
That's amazing. Who would you say you look up to as far as who would be one of your biggest influences as far as getting started on the content creative side of just being in sports in general?
The first person I ever saw was Cole Sarver. He's an awesome dude. There's another kid named Lane Tisco. He's really good dude. Lane Tiger. He runs a big Cleveland sports page. But man, like I watch so many people. I watch your stuff. I watch Chris the Creator. I watched I think it's Lamar. Is his name Lamar Skies?
Lamar Site, Sky High Sports.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I watch a lot of his stuff. But then of course the people at Murray State. Scott Kobaz. He's the main dude that's helped me out so much, and all the photographers down there. They've done so much for me, and that school's done so much for me. So it's just I don't look up to more than one person. I look up to a whole group of people, and like those people like really help me, and they never realize it. So yeah.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. And how was it like your first full season of shooting with the camera for Murray State? You've done track, you've done basketball, you've even done some for Belmont as well. Got a very impressive array.
So man, that stuff is just crazy. I mean, just going to the games, going to different places, meeting people, meeting other photographers from other schools, and just talk with the players all the time. So that's the best part, and that's just the best part. Meeting these people, making these connections, and that's how I get to do all this cool stuff. Like Georgia. I don't really want to say how I got that, but it was I got very blessed and very lucky with it. The same thing with Colorado. I was literally emailed them a super long time ago, and I got a call one day, and they're like, "Hey, we want you to come. We want you to come to the game. We're going to give you 2 VIP passes too, and they're going to do all this stuff for us. Come this week. So they're going to be picking us up in these black cars and stuff, and so it's going to be crazy. Hopefully, we get to meet the old Coach Prime. That'd be really cool. So that's what I'm hoping for.
That is amazing. That is really amazing, man. And I have a Colorado hoodie because I got a bunch of people have been asking me and saying, Tony, now you're on the Coach Prime bandwagon.
But I tried last year to go to some Colorado stuff. But they obviously weren't doing too good, and they said, hey, if you want to come out to a game, you can. But I don't want to be like, man, I don't want to fly out there and then they lose, like. So, but overall, sports, I don't like to like be known for that. You know what I mean? Like we do a lot of charity work on the sports page, and that's what I'm more proud of than anything is the charity work we've done. There was a kid who got killed in a car accident in our area, and we made some T-shirts and we gave all the money to the family, and we did a fundraiser for this coach. So this coach. He's pretty close, man. I know who he is. Took this funny picture one day, and he posted on Twitter, and I took the picture. I put it on a T-shirt, and I said, hey, what if I sell these T-shirts? You'd be okay with it? And I said, I'll give the money to a charity organization you want. So donate a whole bunch of money to that. And we constantly try to do things for charity, like all this like sports stuff and going to games and cover stuff. That's okay, but like the whole talk about sexual assault, talking about, suicide prevention, drugs, like that stuff's, I have a big audience. Not a lot of people don't do that. That's my goal. That's my goal all the time.
That's honestly really cool that you're out in the community doing a lot of that stuff, especially where you're at, man, because sometimes a lot of people could get lost in the amount of followers and just go for the cloud. You guys are out here making a difference, not just on the field, but off the field as well.
Yeah, that's the whole thing I preach all the time. I preach with kids all the time. I'm like, hey, listen, like all these followers you got, it don't mean nothing. I promise you. Like I've met some kids, that were really cocky because they had a whole bunch of followers. They were real cocky and stuff, And then I met people, who didn't have so many followers. They were really nice people I ever meet. Like it's not, I'm not saying people with a lot of followers aren't like that, but I'm just saying it's just you can't judge a book by its cover, and that's something that I try to preach to these kids is. And sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. I don't know, honestly. So
you're doing a great work, man, and I believe you also covered the Army-Navy game, and I believe you got an award. Tell me about how that deal came to be. That's I believe you're the first person I know that's covered Army-Navy as a photographer.
I'm the first person. So I'm the first person in Wayne County. I'm the first person in Wayne, Ashland County to ever cover that event. That was awesome. I'm in the Army. I'm active duty, and so what I did was I just said, hey, anybody want to go? And nobody's like, nope, we don't care. So I'm not putting my things. I put in the credentials. I said, hey, I'm with so and so. We went up there, and I went up to my boss. I mean, he's way up there. You don't know who I am, I don't think. And he came up to me and he said, "Oh, you do really good work," and shook my hand and right there. So this is what it is right here. It's the little tiny. It's like a coin type thing.
Wow.
Oh shoot! it's a little thing from the higher ups and stuff, but they're really cool and stuff. So
That's really amazing, man. And I just want to say thank you for your service.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you for your service, man.
Appreciate it.
And what would you say is the best part about being a content creator in your mind?
I think it's the excitement of going somewhere. Like you get an email back. I got emails back from this week. I got emails back from the Dodgers, the Padres, and stuff like that. So we're in the talks of we're trying to go out there, and we're gonna they're gonna give us a day in the life of like the Dodgers and stuff on a game day. So we're gonna head out there real soon. And it's just crazy stuff. I think it's the waiting and then the excitement of saying, oh hey, you're allowed to come. I think that's the best part.
That's amazing, man. That really is amazing. You've grown so fast. You guys have grown so fast in 2 years, and you're putting Wayne County and Ashland County on the map. They're like I said, they're like in that whole split where it's far from Cleveland, but also far from Columbus.
Yeah,
you're putting that area on the map.
We about from downtown. I think we're 55 minutes or so. 55 minutes. I think we're an hour and 10 from Columbus. So I mean, that for me, that's not far. I drive so many hours now. That doesn't bug me now. So,
if there's one event you could cover, like any sporting event or music event that you could cover, what would it be and why?
The music event. The music event would be a Nirvana concert in the 90s. That'd be I would love to do that. I'm a big Nirvana fan. Sport. Another one would be a Zach Bryan concert. He's a country music singer. And then the sport. Oh, that's easy. I just want to cover an Ohio State football game. That's it. World Cup, Super Bowl. When I get to Columbus and I'm down there in the shoe on some Saturday with my camera, I'm gonna cry, and that's gonna be the greatest day of my life. Like that's the highest goal I got. When I get there, I know I really did something. I got to Georgia and Alabama now.
You're on your way, man. I have a good feeling that you are on your way. You just gotta keep working hard and grinding.
I hope so. I'm always trying to find my way, like an avenue in there somehow. It's hard, but Georgia and Alabama, they were really easy. Now they're like, hey, if you ever want to come back sometime, just tell us. We don't care. So hopefully they make the national championship or something. I'm gonna go. So
it's really cool, man. Hey Ben, we're running down near close to the end of the episode. So if you've got any socials you want to plug or any advice for anyone who's looking to get into content creation, I'll give you as much time as you need. The floor is yours, man.
All right. So my advice for anybody getting into it, like, just don't think that you're gonna go straight to, the NBA finals. You really gotta grow and stuff. And if you really want to do this, you have to put in the work. You can't just go like every once and then take pictures and then expect somebody to, say, hey, let's we want you to Ohio State. We want you here. We want you at the NBA. Like, that's not how that works. Like, that was the hard thing I had to deal with at first. Was I was like, okay, I'm at the bottom. I mean, I'm still at the bottom, but I'm trying to work my way up. So it's just you got to work hard. If you don't work hard, then you're never gonna get nowhere. That's my biggest advice. And if you're struggling like mentally and stuff, get help. That's another big thing that like I said, I'm real big on the whole mental health stuff. Like, you gotta preach that stuff. You really gotta preach it. And that's so much bigger than covering any sports events. It's real life, and people die constantly of it. And it's sad that we don't have those people here, but that's pretty much it. That's it. Like, I mean, just get help if you need it. Like, that's real.
Some great advice, man. Ben, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
For
you,
those of
Tony.
you
Appreciate
watching
you.
on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button at the bottom. If you're listening to this on a streaming service, make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast. Give it a rating because that'll help us out a lot. And thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it, man.